Next up, let's lay some more groundwork. We're going to have our About page, which shows a bunch of users. Once we click one of those users, we'll be able to go to their specific URL like Seveleja or what Nick tweets or something like that, so that we can get parameter routing in here, and this will be our username parameter. First up, let's get a list of users here in the About component. We'll close all these out. In the About component, let's create a users array here. And we'll set an ID of 1. We'll give it a name, a username, and an avatar. And this is my Twitter handle. We'll do an avatar as well. And I'm leaving these blank for now because we're going to go and grab them from Twitter. All right, that's a good list of users. Let's grab their avatars. I've opened those up here. We'll just right click, copy image address. And there's 1, 2, and 3. Now we have our list of users. Let's bind that to a users variable in here. Let's make sure we can see these users in our About page. We'll do div class row, and we'll do a bootstrap class to break out a grid of our users. Let's make sure that this only shows if we have users. So ng if users, and then this will be ng, we forgot our star here, ng4 let user of users. And this is how we repeat over a list. We'll create a new class called profile card. We'll pass in the image and we'll bind it to the source. User.avatar here. And we'll give it some bootstrap classes, image responsive so it doesn't overflow out of its container, and image circle so that it is a circle. We'll also give it an h2 tag and bind the user.name to that. P tag, and right now let's give it a href of just blank, and we'll pass in the user.username. Let's take a look in our browser. Perfect. We have our list of 3 users, and these links don't go anywhere yet since we haven't bound router link to it yet. Let's style this a little bit. And we'll style that profile card. We'll give it a quick background of a very light gray. And we'll do a border radius of 4 pixels. Some padding on there. And make sure everything is aligned in the center. And let's style our images a little bit. Max width is 50%. They were a little large there. And we'll do margin 15 pixels auto. So that's 15 pixels on the top and bottom, and auto on the left and right. Auto will center it for us. And we forgot a comma. Let's take a look at this. All right, looking good. We have our 3 users on the About page now. The last thing I want to do is make sure that we can get a little bit of type safety here and make sure that a user is actually a user. So we're going to create a user class. We'll export class user. And we'll define it here. We will have an ID of number, a name, which is a string, an username, which is also a string, and the same for avatar. Now, what this does is it makes sure that TypeScript knows what our definition of a user is. Now we can say this users will be an array of users. So if we delete one of these, we'll see that this users is actually not correct. We need to bring in the entire user object so that we can get a valid users array. And we'll do the same down here in our class. We want users is an array of users. A little bit of type safety goes a long way when we're building on applications. Once our app gets bigger and bigger, you'll find that TypeScript can help find these little errors like that on the fly. Next up, we are going to work on our About User concept. When we click on one of these users, we'll want to go to their About page and slash their username. So this would go to About Seveleja, About What Nick Tweets, and About Holly Lolly. There, we'll get to see a lot of how parameter routing works.